Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Logan's Movie Reviews. And today we're continuing our greatest TV episode series while looking at Black Mirror Striking Vipers, episode 1 of season 5, starring Anthony Mackie. And who's the young woman that plays his wife?
The very beautiful, the very delicious. And this episode, while it's a great episode, makes me pissed off because how in the fuck in the world could you do this to such a sex kitten, Nicole Bahari?
Yeah, it makes it a little outlandish when you watch
Yes,
it because you're like,
very
whatever.
outlandish.
You're like, well, no, because then you just conclude, oh, this dude's gay, But
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, even though, well, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about the issues. And this came out like right at the beginning of Pride Month. Probably no coincidence there to explore these issues.
I think it's a coincidence because this is a UK show. So I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's just Black Mirror, and this is the only episode I've ever watched. So you could tell the audience, the history of the show and the basis of it. But this is the only episode I've ever watched, and it's a British show, so I doubt if it had anything to do with that. I just think that, like the Twilight Zone, Charlie Brooker, the guy who created the show and the writer and director of many of these episodes, just like to fuck with your mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they really like to deal with modern technology and what it's doing to us. And I think this has a commentary on both the video game culture and porn. I think that's the two things they're trying to talk about here. Because I know a lot of guys who, instead of fucking their wife, they're sitting there jerking off to pornos. And it's just like, they'll do that all day long, and then they'll have to fuck their wife too.
I'll make you laugh. I have a young lady friend. We never were in a relationship. We've been friends for years, and she started coming on to me. She's married, and for about 6 months, she contacted me on social media, and I gave her my number. She texted me. She's an old friend of mine, and she started sending me pictures of herself in lingerie. And I'm like, sweetheart, you told me all this time that you were happily married. What's going on? You got to stop this. Her husband won't touch her, even though she is built like the women we like. He'd rather jerk off the porn. I cut her off a few months ago, but I feel bad for her. But it's just, how do you jerk off the porn when you got this sexy, big booty chick laying next to you? She be trying to touch him just like this episode. She be, hey, nah. And then he'd get up and go sleep in the living room. So you're right. This is a perfect example of what a lot of married couples are going through.
Yeah, so we'll start it off here with I think they start off in a flashback scene because he's at a bar and his friend's got the dreads. So it's like 10 years ago.
I thought when I first saw this, I thought maybe that was how they met, but no, they're role playing.
Right, but they obviously been a couple for a while, but they're playing like he's picking her up. Meanwhile, they all live together. It's her. I look like they moved in together and then hooked up after they moved in together.
Right.
All three of them. So they got together and they got the bigger bedroom. That was the joke. And then he kind of stayed single and kept dating while they got married and moved up. Let's just say upstate, like if they're in New York. But it doesn't. I guess they don't tell you exactly where they're at.
This could be any town. I'm thinking it was California, but this could be anywhere in the United States.
Right. And so he's kept his single life and he's dating all these young chicks, and this dude is kind of bored with his life. He's got a kid. You can tell he's like a little bit just kind of lost. He gets introduced to one of the husbands, and the dude is like, yeah, he likes bikes. And he's like, you like motorcycles?
Oh,
he's like, no,
that
dude
is a cornball. That dude is a cornball. And look at this cornball dude dating this hot chick. and you see while Anthony Mackie, and when she bends down, he's staring at her ass.
Yeah, and she sees him staring, and he quickly looks away. And you can tell he's his eyes are wandering. Basically, he's bored of his life, and it looks like he's approaching 40. He's kind of having a little bit of a midlife crisis here. So
If I'm not mistaken, I think this is his 40th birthday party.
no, it's 38. 38.
Oh, 38. Okay, 38th birthday party. Okay, all right.
Right. So he's they're like 40 around the corner.
Even though Anthony Mackie don't look a day past 30, but all right, 38.
Yeah, but how old is he for real?
I think he might be 40. I think he might be 40, Anthony Mackie.
I think he's even higher.
I don't know. He's been acting since he's been acting for a long time. You might have a point there.
Yeah. So he
just turned 41.
Okay. His friend comes through. His friend is now got the short hair, but he's still grinding. He's still in the city. He's working at a label, and he's dating all these young girls, and he's bragging. But he has bought his buddy what they used to play in virtual reality form. It's basically Street Fighter. They call it Striking
That's
Vipers.
Street Fighter. That's a huge ripoff of. Why don't you just call it Street Fighter? That's Street Fighter.
Or Mortal Kombat.
I guess
one or the other.
No, that's Street. Is it Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? It could be a combination of the two.
Yeah, no, I mean those two they came out around the same time, and I think they had similar. They're basically similar in that way that you could choose your player, but this one you go into the game. So you put on this little thing and you go into the virtual reality. Now I don't know if you've ever played any of these. Like you put the goggles on and you play like these virtual reality games. They're pretty crazy.
I haven't played video games in over 10 years. I know you have what they call it, VR headset or something like that, where the visor, where it's like virtual reality. I'm not into that. I'm 51 years old. Even though I know guys older than me that play that play video games, like especially the Madden and the NBA games. I stopped playing video games over 10 years ago. So I could see how people get into this. And when I used to play, I'd play the Madden and the NBA games all night long. But damn,
you get addictive.
But the virtual reality, I've never done that, and I'm glad I didn't because my eyes would be fried.
Your brain too, but it's addictive. And there's gonna be a lot of problems in the future of people just wanting to live in those worlds and not live in the real world. And they're gonna be like zombies on this end, So they put this thing on. They're able to get into the game completely, and they feel everything, including the punches. So they start fighting each other, and then all of a sudden they start making out and fooling around, and that freaks both of them out. And they both like exit the game, like what the fuck, right? Because these are two heterosexual men. So when you saw that, what did you think, man?
I was like, what the fuck? It threw me for a loop, but then I realized this is Black Mirror. It's the modern day Twilight Zone, and like Twilight Zone did back in the 60s, this show does now is that they take science fiction and mix it in with social issues.
Now, what do you think? Now, I thought the girl who plays the Asian girl, she's beautiful. She's actually the chick from Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, right? Like, I think she's the same chick. Let me check out.
Her name is Ludi Lin. Let me see what she's in. Ludi Lin.
Yeah, because I think she plays that weird like mantis chick.
Well, she was in Aquaman. You talking about the Asian chick that was fighting, right?
Yeah.
And she was in Aquaman and Power Rangers. Let me see.
And not Guardians.
She's going to be in the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Oh, okay. That's
she's
perfect for her.
that. She's perfect.
But anyway, so she's in there. She's hot, and the dude is like, all completely chiseled, and they're just. And it's weird because he's not gay outside the game. He's freaked out just as much as Anthony Mackie's character. He's just like, but then when he gets in there, he's a woman and he's feeling everything and he's getting into it, and so they keep fooling around. But this has a problem because he resists it at first, but then he just keeps going with it, and after a few months, like they're just doing it all the time, and you can tell that he's like not even paying attention to his wife. He's not having sex with her, and the dude is kind of not even finishing having sex with his girlfriend. And you can tell that he's not really into his girlfriend, like his young girlfriend. She doesn't know who Dennis Rodman is. She doesn't really, when you date these younger girls, they don't get the references that you try to make.
I'll make you laugh. A few years ago when I was single, I took out, let me see, I was about 48, 49. Took out this 28-year-old woman. And right? And I'm a huge, anybody who knows me, like Logan knows, huge R&B fan. I love the old school stuff. And we would talk about music, and she was talking about Trey Songz and Chris Brown. Those are her favorite singers. And Neo. And I said, yeah, well, those guys are good. But I made her a CD of Donny Hathaway and Teddy Pendergrass, my two all-time favorite singers. And she's like, oh, I never heard of them. I was like, you never heard of Donny Hathaway and Teddy Pendergrass? That's like being a football fan and never hearing about Joe Montana and Jerry Rice. I was amazed. I said, all right, so I gave her the CDs. I looked past it. She calls me after midnight. Wow, these guys are great. It's better than anything. I said, I know, but how did you not know about these? What did your parents listen to? Well, she came from a single parent household. Her father was never in her life, and all her mother played was hip hop in the house. So there you go. That's a perfect example of what that young lady laying next to Anthony Mackie's friend was probably only listened, never watched. And all she ever watched when it came to pro sports was LeBron and Kobe.
Yeah. So she has to look up Dennis Rodman. She's like, oh, I get it, the hair. And then you can tell she's a millennial. She's always on her phone.
Before they have sex and after they have sex, she's on the phone.
Yeah. And then when she
meanwhile
finish,
he curls up thinking about, oh, I can't wait to see him again and play him again.
Yeah. But the thing is like even when he doesn't finish, she's like, you mind if I finish myself off? Like these are the modern women, man. They'll just like jerk themselves off right in front of you. So she gets on a porn and starts watching it and fingering herself, and then he's just like thinking about his buddy and them having sex in the game. And they talk about how it's different, like you're playing a solo with your dick, but like with a woman, it's like an orchestra, So, and they keep talking about it. It's like, isn't the best sex you ever had? And he's like, yeah. So it's like, but we're, are we gay? And there's this big debate going on. So what do you think? You think they're gay?
Yes, because there's the best scene of this entire episode, and this should have been an Emmy nomination for Nicole Beharie. They go out, it's like a year after the first video game sex, and they go out to dinner. Theo's his wife's name.
Right.
Confronts him at the restaurant and says, what's your problem? He's like, well, what are you talking about? It's like, you don't touch me anymore. We don't have sex anymore. You don't brush my shoulder like you used to when you walk by. You're not romantic anymore. Are you seeing somebody? What's wrong?
Right.
Great scene because the emotion she feels in her eyes is like, oh my God, it's incredible. And Anthony Mackie, who's a great actor and one of the top actors that we have focused as far as number of episodes and movies on this program. We've done Anthony Mackie all over on this program. He's been a tremendous actor, and he was great to see because he's quiet. He doesn't say anything. He just what you call him, the new Sam Jackson. His eyes.
Yeah.
His eyes. He doesn't say anything, but his eyes show guilt and torture and just plain. Yeah, I fucked up. I'm fucking up, and I can't explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. And then she said, because right before he got to the restaurant, some dude tried to pick her up. And, of course, some dude's going to try to pick her up. Look at her. She's got a perfect body. She's a beautiful woman. She is drop-dead gorgeous. The dude tried to pick her up, and she said, I could have been picked up. I could have been out with somebody. No, but I love you, and you are not returning the favor. Great scene, great emotional scene. Love this scene. And think after this, right? He takes a break and tries to avoid his best friend, and I think they might have sex. I'm not sure, but then he comes back. They go talk about the scene where they meet each other in the park and attempt to kiss each other.
Yeah, well, first of all, this thing that happens with that, it's their wedding anniversary. He's been going hot and heavy with this guy, and I think it's only a few months later because she's like, we haven't had sex in months. Then after that scene, he breaks it off with the dude because he's just like, that's it, man. I can't do this anymore. So then then we get to about a year later, and it's his birthday again, and she invites the dude over because they haven't spoken, and she surprise invites him. It's a surprise. He doesn't know he's coming. All of a sudden, he's all pissed off. He's like, oh shit, this dude's coming. So they get to talk about it again, and they get into a little bit of a scuffle at the dinner, and then they finally do have they meet again in the game that night at midnight because he's like, meet me at midnight, and then when they do that, he's like, they almost have sex again in the game, but then he's like, fuck this, and then they go meet outside in the rain, and they're like, let's kiss and see if this feel anything in real life and see if we're gay. And they don't feel shit. But then they get into a fight because the dude's like, let's just, he wants to break it off and the dude wants to keep it going. And he's like, I can't. And they get into a big fight and they end up, the police arrest them.
Arrest both of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So she has to come. And at this point, she's pregnant with their second kid.
Yep.
And she's at the police station and she's just like, what the fuck's going on? Like, you got to tell me, you got to talk to me. And you see that he's going to tell her, and then they flip into the future. She's already had the kid, and now, it's his birthday again. And I think every day on his birthday, maybe, he gets to get on the game, and she gets to go fuck somebody else.
Yeah,
or is it some special calendar day? I don't know.
Either that, or they have an agreement. Yeah, all right, we'll stay married. I'll fuck other men, and you can you can have sex with your buddy online whenever you want.
No, but
that's
pick
what
a
I
day.
came to the conclusion.
No, but they showed a calendar day. I think it's just one day a year. She can go fuck somebody outside.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Right, which
yeah, because that makes some kind of sense. But at the same time, like, you're sitting there fucking some dude in the game. She's getting out like some dirty dick up in her shit. She getting real penis while you're on. Unbelievable. Yeah, that's not a fair trade, man.
Especially look at and the way she looks. Somebody taking her from you. Eventually, you losing her.
Yeah, you're like, he what? He fucking game? Get the fuck out of here. Come with me. He's fucking some dude in a game. He's gay, man.
Man.
That's what you would be saying.
Shout out to Charlie Brooker. I mean, what a fucking creative mind. What a creative show. I will go back and watch some of the other episodes. I only watched this because I've always loved me some Nicole Beharie.
Dude.
Fans that want to see her, Sleepy Hollow, the series, every episode she wore spandex, delicious. She played Jackie Robinson's wife in 42 with Chadwick Boseman as the great Jackie Robinson. She is beautiful and very talented, a tremendous, tremendous actress. And 35, don't look a day past 25.
Yeah, she's awesome. And I think Anthony Mackie's one of the most underrated black actors out there.
He's one of the most underrated actors, period. Never mind black or white. He's just tremendous. I mean, he's been on. We've talked about him on this program so many times. Like you said, than you, Sam Jackson. He comes out with 3-4 movies a year and always quality work. And give it to him because he's another guy that Spike Lee discovered. Like Sam Jackson, he discovered Anthony Mackie.
The next episode of this season has the guy from Snowfall. It's called
Damson
Smithereens.
Idris.
Yeah,
Damson
he's in it.
Idris, yes.
Using his real accent.
Because this is a British show.
Right. So this show is really good, man. It's one of the. I think it's superior to Twilight Zone because it's longer, and it's dealing with it a little bit more in depth than those shows. But it's definitely inspired by that show.
Because in this time of age, you can do that.
Yeah. Right. Well, you need it. Everybody's looking for content. But I think almost every show is good. There's one episode where some guy gets extorted to fuck a pig. I would not watch that one.
Oh
yeah.
My God.
Like basically someone says, we're going to kill this kid unless it's a politician. And they're like, we're going to kill this kid unless you fuck this pig in public on TV. And like, everyone's like, well, you got to do it, man. You got to save the kid. And so he fucks the fucking thing on TV, dude. So I wouldn't watch that one. I didn't think that was good. And I think it turned off a lot of people too when they saw it because no one wanted to watch that show anymore because they're like, what the fuck is this? So, this show pushes boundaries. I'm sure a lot of people got pissed off by this show, the one we just reviewed. I'm sure a lot of people did. People uncomfortable with this kind of subject, but so he's going in the game. But now I don't think though that he's gonna get on he's gonna call his friend up and they're gonna go to a hotel and fuck ever.
No, they're not.
I think
they're not. No.
They're always gonna fuck in the game. So is that really gay? That's the question. You say yes, but I think it's just I don't think he'd fuck a dude in the ass even in the game. I think he has to fuck that Asian chick. He's in love with her.
Right.
So even though it's being inhabited, now this is the question, suppose somebody you knew that your buddy was in the body of one of the hottest women in the world, would you still fuck her? These are all the questions that get spawned by this.
Yeah, I guess that's the type of question they're asking. Yeah.
If I could put my brain inside, who's the hottest actress you want to fuck, and it's still you're gonna fuck her with me inside. I don't know. So it's the same body.
It's the same body, but I don't know. Psychologically, you would be affected by that. I don't think you could go all the way. Yeah.
No, you couldn't. But
no,
they could. Now, when they finally do figure out how to fuck people in these virtual reality worlds, they still haven't perfected it. Although there are now virtual reality pornos, but it's just you're in it in 3D, it's all around you, but
unbelievable.
You can't participate. But now, yeah, so this is a warning. This is a warning to guys, you're going to lose your wife if you just keep going at. Now, I say that woman that's calling you up, you ought to fuck her, man, because she needs it and she's not going to get it from her husband.
It's gonna cause worse problems. It will just make things worse. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Right.
Because she was texting me all the time. Look, I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because she called me one time at 2 a.m. I was with my girlfriend. I'm like, come on.
That doesn't look good.
Come on. No, and a married woman at that? Come on. No, it'll make things worse. Look, I have thought with my penis throughout my entire life. This is one of the few instances where I can't because it will cause more problems. Because she was contacting me without us physically seeing each other. Imagine if we did the deed. Oh, forget it.
Yeah, then you should be showing up at your fucking
I'm
partner.
leaving him for you now. I'm not looking I'm not looking for a relationship with this woman. I haven't spoken to her since Thanksgiving, so I'm hoping he finally put the pipe to her.
Man, dude needs. Some people that are addicted to porn, for real, so.
You know what? I don't think from the last time her and I talked, I don't think. I think it's still a sexless marriage. On effing real. I just don't understand, dude. I don't. Just don't make. It doesn't make sense. Or you as a kid, you watch porno before you have sex, right? Because you can't have it. Now you can have it anytime you want, and you turn it down, and you revert back to going to watching porno. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All right, man. Well, I guess we can wrap it up here. What do you got planned for next time?
Next week, we will begin our Black History Month.
All right, so we're going to be reviewing all Black History type movies for this month. And then I guess we'll do Rich Man, Poor Man in March.
We'll do Rich Man, Poor Man the first Sunday in March, which, remember, is 29 days in February this year. So March 1st will be a Sunday. That's when we'll be doing Rich Man, Poor Man Book 2, the final episode in what was my all-time favorite miniseries. And that's saying a lot, Logan, because you had Roots, you had Shogun, you had all these great miniseries. This was my all-time favorite miniseries as a kid.
Yeah, I loved it, and I'd never seen it, so it was great to get through it. So, One Silver Man, have a good one.
See you next week, big man. Later.